always wondered, what first drew you to music? What was the source of your creative passion?
Well, I was playing from a very young age, but I didn't hear music in the way that I hear it now until I understood life a little bit better, until I went through some things in my own life in my teenage years where, I felt certain emotions for the first time. I experienced deep pain, deep sadness, deep joy, deep happiness, all these things. And so my perception of music then changed, and my ability to compose, to write music, opened up.
How does it work? Do you hear sounds in your head and then you just know how to bring it out?
A lot of it is not, like, it cannot be forced. I think the question is how can we be a vessel to create space for the music to come through, for the creativity to come through.
What was your aha moment where you went from an artist who loves to create music and write to someone who recognized and knew that she wanted to do something with it in her life?
In my late teens, I discovered I have a gift in music, and I did a lot of spiritual work, self-development work, personal growth to get comfortable with my self-expression, because there was a lot blocking me from, I had a lot of fear singing in public, fear of performing in public, fear of sharing, and it was about changing the narrative of my process, of my artistry, into one that is, I'm here to be of service, to just bring more beauty and healing in the world.
What's the most meaningful song to you that you've written?
Music that has a spiritual element is meaningful to me, but also music that has no language. Like, I've written a lot of instrumental music that's a combination of a lot of different influences, lots of rhythms, lots of scales, melodies, colors. And for me, those are very meaningful too, because they're globally influenced.
And I rose in pastas, a mineral, and roses, a plant as a flower, and came an orchard of roses that bloomed and they died in the soil. I was born as an animal, and came a man when was.
What was the moment that you were inspired by photography? Like, do you remember your first subject that you shot, or to pick up a camera?
I know that ever since I was a baby myself, I loved babies because my parents always laugh about it. I think I was about 11 or 12, and someone in the family had a camera, and I spent hours. I just got lost photographing them, photographing the sand on their little toes and on their little hands, and their laugh and the way they would run into the waves and run away from the ocean. And I remember my aunts and uncles and everyone in the family printed those pictures, and they were in awe. They were just like, these pictures are amazing. And they kind of recognized my talent, which I didn't know I had. I was just so drawn to capturing children and innocence and life and all the yummy stuff. I never thought I'd be a photographer. I was studying psychology, and I was emphasizing in child development.
Okay.
And play therapy was my goal.
Wow.
Working with kids in psychology, emphasizing on play therapy. But yeah, it's crazy that.
But that's your subject of photography now.
Yes,
wow.
It's very crazy.
That's beautiful.
And it just happened.
So in the process of taking photos, what do you feel like you're capturing? Like, what do you feel like you're you're giving to people?
I would say I'm giving them the gift of seeing the joy and the happiness of their own life from the outside and capturing time for them. I feel like it's the biggest honor, especially my style of photography, which is getting those moments and those candid emotions and capturing it for them and letting them see what it looks like.
Yeah, I think your strong suit is the purity, like capturing the really pure, authentic moments, like the ones in your photography. And in my experience shooting with you also, my favorite photographs are the ones that are not planned. Like when I'm most relaxed and I'm not overthinking about what I look like in front of the camera or anything like that. And you're really good at also bringing that out of whoever you're working with to be comfortable. And then the magic comes from that pure place. Where do you see yourself going with your photography?
I'm always open to photographing all kinds of people, and when I travel, I photograph people. But I definitely see myself with babies and families.
I love that because there's such a theme of newness there. It's like the energy that's present within an engaged couple and the energy that's present with this new life that comes into the world.
Chloe, your style of music is so multifaceted and unique.
Thank you.
How did you arrive to that?
Well, it was a very unexpected process. You know, I started off with classical music. One thing led to another. I got very interested in folk musics of more like Eastern European and gypsy, like Roma. I was in a like punk band when I was a teenager, so I also had like this rock and roll, like love jazz. It creates a blended style. It's healthy for me, the blending. So I guess that's how I arrived to the point of the way the music is why it is now. It's because I've really been on a journey.
בראשית ברא אלוהים את השמיים ואת הארץ והארץ הייתה תוהו ובוהו תוהו ובוהו בראשית ברא אלוהים את השמיים ואת הארץ והארץ הייתה תוהו ובוהו 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 תוהו ובוהו.
Like there should be no limitation in music or creativity or art. Something that's very unique about your photo shoots I've seen is that even with working with so many newborns and engaged couples, it doesn't look like any of your ideas or photo shoots are repetition. It's like everything is a completely new idea. So how do you do that? How do you keep it fresh?
I'd love to talk to my clients before the shoot and get a feel of what they're like, what their family is like, what their hobbies are. If it's an engaged couple, I'll ask them about their first few dates and maybe something there will inspire me, a special place to them, or what their favorite pastime is. If it's a family with a few young kids, I'll inquire about what they like to do on the weekends or what their ritual is on a Saturday morning. You know, they might say we love making pancakes, and I'll say, let's get messy, you know, or they'll say, oh, there's this place that we love to go on the cliff and watch the surfers. You really do get inspired by the people. I want to capture them in their real. Can I put you on the spot and have you sing one?
Oh my God. Bésame de besos de su boca. Bésame de besos de su boca. I'm so grateful that we were able to talk, and I'm so excited for future creative work, what you continue doing. You know, like I love it all. Thank you. Love you, Natasha. Love that we were able to do this today. One more song?
Yeah.
Okay. אלוהי נשמה שנתת בי שנתת בי תאו